During any election campaign, there's a lot of talk about leadership. But what exactly is a good leader and what are people looking for? Martine Saint-Victor is the general manager of Edelman, Montreal. Thanks so much for joining us, Martine.
Always a pleasure to see you, Mitsumi.
So, Martine, can you define what is good leadership?
Hmm. Good leadership, Mitsumi, is someone who has vision and someone who can take you through harsher times and someone also that can make you dream. And I think maybe one of the misconceptions is to think that leadership only happens in very big positions, only CEOs or elected officials. But the reality is that if you're a parent, you're the leader of your household, and your children expect certain things from you. They expect vision from you. They expect you to protect them. So it's the same, the qualities are the same whether the job is public or not.
Is what we look for, though, in a leader depend on circumstance? So, for example, I think of how Justin Trudeau got in because people wanted sunny ways. People voted for Mark
Mhm.
Carney in the face of Donald Trump. Is there a
Right.
particular personality people look for?
Mm. I don't know if it's personality, although some might disagree. I don't know if you remember last year, La Presse had if you will, the top 100 most influential people, and one it was l'actualité. I'm sorry, and one of the things they looked for was charisma and leadership, and I think that might be overblown. You're right to specify that it depends on the moment, and particularly now what we want is a leader that's able to recognize what the issues are. And so the issues today might be lodging, it might be economics, the issues in 5 years might be climate change. And so one of the challenges for a leader, Mitsumi, is to be able to pinpoint what really matters to people, and that makes a difference.
Maxine, when we look at the current municipal election campaign, poll after poll shows that there's a very high level of disinterest. What is the
Mm.
problem here? What is wrong? Is it something people are looking for they're not getting?
Mm. I heard candidate Soraya Martinez Ferrada earlier today, and she said, some people don't even know there's a municipal election. So that shows you the disinterest, but that also shows that the message is not getting across. And so I think that is a result of many things. First of all, a lot of people have disconnected from the news and so are not aware about the upcoming election, but also is because maybe we forget sometimes how local decisions affect us immediately. If your trash is not being picked up, you'll feel it immediately. If the roads are not fixed, and that is the issue, one of the many issues in Montreal right now, you see it immediately and it affects you. And you and I have often spoken about trust, Mitsumi. You know how trust in institutions are failing. Well, the reality is that elected officials are dead last when it comes to who we trust most. But trust is local. So elected officials at the local level have more influence than elected officials at a provincial level or at a national level. And trust starts with them. And so the work maybe might be more present from them to remind us why it's important and also to build community. So I can't pinpoint why there's such a disinterest in municipal election. It actually breaks my heart because sometimes decisions that are made at the local levels are then, if you will, reproduced at a provincial level and national level when it works. And there are multiple examples of that. So we need to pay attention because it affects us first and foremost. And so that is one of the challenges for the candidates right now to make sure people go out and that people care and people understand the influence of municipal elections.
So, what would be your message then to people who just really aren't very interested in this? I mean, you've made the point whoever we elect is going to affect our daily lives, and very much so. What should people actually be thinking about?
Hmm. Well, what matters to them most when we think of certain issues like affordability for lodging? Well, first and foremost, the solutions will come locally, so we need to care about that. Same with infrastructures. We can complain about potholes all we want, but if we don't vote in the person that has the vision, and we were talking about leadership before, then I don't know that these potholes will be fixed. Same thing with access to public transportation. These are things that affect us directly. And so this is why we need to care. And the reality is that when you don't vote, you don't really get a say in what's happening, and you don't get a right to complain either. So we have to be more involved. The same token, I would say the candidate have to double or triple the work that they're doing on the ground to make sure that we feel part of this community. Sometimes the issue is there. We feel disengaged because we don't feel part of a community. I think Montreal is multiple communities. So the work is there as well. And also, I would say there has to be a domino effect the same way. And I come back to community because sometimes the influence can come from the neighborhood. So this is why volunteers are important for each party so they can spread the word. But I'm really hoping, and this is my wish, that we care a little bit more about municipal elections.
Okay. Thank you very much for this, Martine.
My pleasure. Have a good weekend. Bye bye.